So OpenPlant is the plant design solution sitting on our MicroStation platform. It has been more than 25 years in the market. It was initially it was called Plant Space Design Series. Later, we changed the name to OpenPlant. So in OpenPlant, we have 5 modules for the OpenPlant PNID, for the intelligent PNID drawings, OpenPlant Modeler for the 3D modeling of your different components. Now, OpenPlant Isometric is the tool that you can help you to automatically generate the piping isometric drawings. And OpenPlant Autographics Manager helps you to extract out the general arrangement drawings and do automatic annotations and dimensioning based on the initial configuration that you have done. So these two, isometric and autographics, will actually help to save a lot of engineering time in terms of drafting it manually. The last module, which is OpenPlant Support Engineering, is to design your supports, piping to structure supports, and also to create the engineering drawings related to the support. Now, I just want to share this video in terms of the workflow. So in this case, you have a PNID that is being finalized and then published as a PDF for the other stakeholders to check. So this is a web-based application where they can access the PDF. And then the user that check actually can do markup just by using a browser. They do not need to install any kind of design applications. So through the browser, they can review the PNID, put in the comments, the markup that they need, and create an issue and assign it back to the engineer that need to make the changes. So this simplifies the workflow for the people that actually need to check on the design. They don't need to install the application itself. So this will create an issue, assign it back to the engineer. The engineer can see it and then goes into the design application like OpenPlant PID and then make the modifications. Let me just skip this part a bit. Essentially, they are making the modifications in OpenPlant PID. Now, once it's done, you publish back the changes back into PlantSight, which is the centralized plant database. And once it's published, any users that have access to PlantSight can see the changes immediately. So this actually helps different users to access the latest information that other users change of the plant model. You also have a 3D view of the plant. You can navigate between the 2D and 3D, meaning you can navigate between the PNID as well as the 3D drawing. Any component you click on the PNID will zoom into the 3D and vice versa. You can do measurements in this 3D. So typically, this 3D view is a very good platform for users that to do design review within the company or even within the owner or their subcontractors. So just now we added the additional parallel pump in PNID. Now the user goes into OpenPlant and make those additions as well. And once you add the PNID, you understand that the tag was created, the information related to the additional pump was in the database. Now in 3D, it can utilize the same information, and all you need to do is just add the physical location of that parallel pump. You don't have to enter all the information again. And the OpenPlant Modeler and the OpenPlant PNID will do a consistency check to make sure that all the 2D components that you define in PNID is consistent with the 3D. If not, the software will highlight to the user on these differences. Okay. So once you modify the 3D, then you can also update the PlantSight, and then any users will have access to PlantSight will be able to see the update in the 3D model instantly. Okay. So similarly, I mentioned that this PlantSight is your 3D model database. So you can actually connect directly to it and generate your 2D deliverables such as isometric drawings or your autographics or general arrangement drawings directly from it. And I also mentioned that it captures the changes in time. So you can actually do version comparison inside this platform as well. So during design review, for example, you want to see the latest models against the last meeting, which is 30% complete. The software actually will highlight to you what was added, modified, or removed. And not only the components itself, but any kind of attribute changes, it will also highlight to you. So it's a very good way to keep track of what changed over time with regards to your design. So you don't have to keep a separate Excel sheet to lock down all these changes. As long as you save the versions in your PlantSight, you can do at any time a version comparison over time. So here you can see all the attributes. You can just show only what was changed, and the software will actually highlight those parameters that was changed. So a lot of our users actually gain benefits by using this intelligent software. For example, in this case, RMB uses OpenPlant PNID. They save at least about 1.8% of their investment costs, which is equivalent to about 78 million RMB. And CISDI engineering company, they save about 433 hours in terms of engineering hours using OpenPlant PID. Now, that is for the modeling, the 2D as well as 3D. The next is how do you extract out the reporting, whether it's through your material takeoff, your isometrics, or your general arrangement drawings. So we have solution that helps you with that. Reporting comes together with the OpenPlant modeler. It's very user-friendly. You can set up your different reports formats. The output formats are also different. Could be Excel, Word document, or PDF. Then for support engineering, these are specific applications. We have a database of vendor-specific supports that you can actually add to your design, and all the engineering drawing output are also automatically created. So all the assemblies information, the bill of materials with respect to the supports are automatically generated. So next, I just want to show an example of the isometrics. So in this case, you are actually selecting the piping segment to generate the isometrics. Of course, we have different formats that you can define upfront, whether it's IFC or different type of isometric format. So this isometric engine is the same whether it's OpenPlant or AutoPLANT. Just let me fast forward this video to just show you an example of the isometric drawing. So this is an example of the isometric drawing. You can see the white space handling is quite good. So essentially, a lot of our users' feedback is that they seldom needs to actually modify on these drawings that are automatically created. But if you want to modify, you can also do so. The output, you can output it to a MicroStation format or DWG format. So you have both options. And these isometric drawings are still intelligent. If you click on any of the components, the information will actually will be shown to you as well. Next, I just want to show an example in terms of the extraction of the GA drawings. So this is our AutoGraphics Manager. There's many settings that you can actually set to actually manipulate how you want to design your general arrangement output. So all these are all configuration that you can do. Maybe certain pipe of certain size you do not want to show, what kind of labels you need to show, what color, things like that. So all this you can configure, and you need to do it one time upfront. And after that, then generating all the GA drawings will be having this same annotation format or dimensioning format. So it saves a lot of engineering time in terms of manually drafting all your 2D output. So these are just some examples of the different settings that can be done. And let me just forward to one example of the different output. So this is an example of the GA drawings that are automatically extracted. And similarly, you have an option of whether the output is DGN or DWG format. And same thing, you can publish this to a PDF, and then someone can actually review it and do markup as well, like you have seen in the PNID drawing.